Welcome, viewers, from the land of freedom and opportunity. Tell me, what time is it in your country right now? Is it night? If so, look out your window. It's likely quiet and peaceful, because that's your definition of night.
But on the other side of the planet, on this tiny peninsula, another sun rises when night falls, a sun that never sleeps. Some call it the miracle on the Han River. Others call it a human manufacturing factory. Are you ready to sell your child's nights, cutting their lifespan for the sake of growth?
What I'm showing you today is the dark side of the utopia you dreamed of, the raw face of the most efficient dystopia. Now let's begin the show. Don't close your eyes. This might just be your future.
As you press the remote button, you land in the scorching heart of Seoul, Dachi-dong. It is 10 p.m. For Americans, this is the time to turn off Netflix and switch on the bedside lamp. But the Korean clock works differently. The government commanded by law, do not make children study after 10 p.m. On the surface, the street seems to obey the law. The flashy neon signs of the academies turn off in unison, and the buildings submerge into darkness. But do not be fooled. This is not peace. It is merely the quietest minute before the storm. 10:05 p.m. Look at the road. It resembles an evacuation scene from a Hollywood disaster movie. An 8-lane highway is paralyzed. This is not rush hour traffic. It is the riding squad. Parents waiting to pick up their children pouring out of academies. In the driver's seats, mothers eat gimbap for dinner or check the next academy schedule on their smartphones. Police blow whistles trying to clear the traffic, but they cannot stop the determination of parents trying to pick up their kids. This massive conviction of cars is not just a traffic jam, it is the anxiety of Korean society solidified on the asphalt. Finally, children pour out of the buildings, and hundreds of yellow shuttle buses swallow them whole. Like giant predators, these buses open their mouths, load the children, and vanish into the darkness. Their destination is not home. The 10 p.m. shutdown was made to send kids home, but the market is always smarter than the law. The buses ferry children to blind spots beyond the law's reach, study cafes and reading rooms. The law banned lecturing, but it could not ban self-study. Now, let's enter the scene of evolved education, the study cafe. There are no human managers here. Only a cold machine, a kiosk, stands guard at the entrance. Children habitually insert credit cards and select the number of the prison cell they will be confined in. Seat 42, 4 hours paid. When the door opens, you hear a strange sound. Shh. It's artificial white noise designed to enhance concentration. In this place where even breathing feels like a sin, children are stripped of their humanity and function only as problem-solving machines. While American teens make noise practicing bands in garages, Korean teens are trapped in artificial noise they paid to buy. A more secretive world also exists. High-end office tells where the wealthy reside. The elevators here don't move without a key card. After 11 p.m., famous instructors with black caps pulled low commute here. This is secret midnight tutoring, evading the eyes of the crackdown squads. In these secret rooms where hundreds of dollars change hands per hour, the law is powerless. Paradoxically, the shutdown divided educational opportunities by the size of wealth. If you have no money, you must sleep at home. If you have money, you buy the night to get ahead. This is the brutal capitalism of Korean education. 1 a.m. The trash cans at convenience stores are piled high with empty cans. Cute characters are drawn on the packaging, but inside was high caffeine liquid nearing lethal doses for adults. Children drink this black water and turn pages with trembling hands. A class motto is pasted on the wall. Even while you sleep, your enemies are turning pages. Korean schools make children perceive their peers not as friends, but as competitors or enemies. Survival. Survival is the only philosophy that rules this night.
Look at the map of Korea. Smaller than the state of Texas, this land yields not a drop of oil, not a wisp of gas. Ruined by war in 1950, what was the only resource this country could rely on? It was people. Since nothing came out of the ground, they had to dig into human brains to mine knowledge. Thus, Korean society became a massive human mining pit. From the moment they're born, children are raised as high-performance fuel to boost the nation's GDP. Study is the only way to live. This wasn't just a motto, it was a survival fear injected by a resource-poor nation into its children. And the day comes to grade that mining output, Sunung, the CSAT. In Korea, this is a day of national stop. Flights are grounded, work hours are delayed, and police cars escort students. One single day, one single test determines the cast of your entire life. The most notorious part of this exam is the killer question. The name itself is brutal, isn't it? These aren't designed to test knowledge, they're designed to make you fail. Let me give you an example. Even American university professors often fail the English section of the Korean CSAT. The logic is twisted, the vocabulary is pedantic. Because the goal of education here isn't learning, but elimination, to line up hundreds of thousands of students in a single file. The cruelest part of this system is the relative evaluation. In US schools, if you score over 90, you get an A. But in Korea, even if I get a perfect score, if my friend gets a perfect score, I could fall to rank 2. To be in rank 1, the top 4%, you must step on your friends to rise. The classroom is no longer a place for learning, it is a zero-sum game arena. When a classmate asks for help, not teaching them becomes a strategy. A structure where my friend's failure becomes my success. This system teaches children how to exclude others before it teaches them knowledge. A monster fed on this fear is the Hagwon. Translators call it Academy, but that is wrong. In the US, an academy is for arts or sports, but in Korea, a Hagwon is a score manufacturing factory. It is a massive corporation with more power than public schools. Star instructors earn more money than pop stars, and kids stayed up all night doing Hagwon homework even if they sleep in school. Why? Because Hagwons sell survival skills, how to solve a problem in 3 seconds, how to avoid mental traps. Parents spend half their salary to buy these skills. Public education has collapsed, and the monster of private education has taken the throne. Where do the losers of this fierce game go? Tragically, too many choose the rooftop. For over a decade, the #1 cause of death for Korean teens has not been disease or accidents, but suicide. Want a more shocking fact? It's not just the failing students. Students fighting for the top rank take their own lives just because their mock exam scores dropped slightly. To them, being second place means social death. There was a movie slogan, "Happiness doesn't come in grades," but reality teaches survival comes in grades. As flowers break their own stems before blooming, Korean society dismisses this tragedy as personal weakness and restarts the conveyor belt. Someone asks, why don't they stop? The answer is simple. They believe that the moment they stop, they crash. This belief made Korea a top 10 global economy, but also the world's #1 republic of suicide. Now let's change the question. The winners who survived this system and entered prestigious universities, are they happy? In Act 3, we will meet the empty eyes of those so-called winners.
Congratulations! Finally, they made it. They got into the Sky Universities, the Ivy League of Korea. Parents weep, and congratulatory banners flutter in the streets. In an American movie, the party would start now. But look at the Korean campus. In the freshman classrooms, instead of vitality, a strange silence flows. They're exhausted. Their brains are in a state of burnout, the price for selling their sleep for 12 years. To them, the acceptance letter is not a ticket to freedom. It is merely a renewal of the slave contract to become a higher grade worker. As soon as they enter, they head back to the library, because this time a bigger boss called employment is waiting. The life of a Korean college student is like raising an RPG game character. They call this spec, short for specification. It means humans must be equipped with specs like machines. GPA 4.0, TOEIC 900, 2 internships, 100 hours of volunteering, contest awards. You must have all of these just to pass the resume screening of a conglomerate. While Silicon Valley wants creative geeks, Korean companies want flawless hexagonal talents. So students don't ask questions, they don't debate. They're busy farming items called scores and certificates. Students abandoning their majors to flock to employment academies. This is the mystery of Korea, the highest college entrance rate in the world, yet falling practical efficiency. But no matter how hard they try, the gate is narrow. Frustrated youths eventually hide in their rooms. The kangaroo tribe living with parents past 30, or the lying flat generation giving up on jobs and marriage are increasing. Look at the back of that 29-year-old man in a tiny cubicle room eating cup noodles, preparing for a low-level civil service exam. He is not lazy. He ran harder than anyone else for the past 20 years. But because society never told him it's okay to rest, he stopped himself. The overheated engine has finally exploded. Here we witness the paradox of the incubator. The Korean education system is a perfectly controlled, sterile room, safe, efficient, with set answers. But the moment they open the incubator door and step into the global wild, these children become helpless. In situations requiring creative thinking where there is no single answer, they panic. They ask, "Teacher, what is the right answer?" But the world has no answer key. Why do kids with the world's best math scores fail to win Nobel Prizes? Because they are geniuses at solving problems made by others, but never learned how to define problems themselves. What is the ending of this tragic system? The numbers speak. 0.6. This is Korea's total fertility rate. Never in human history has such a low figure been recorded without war or plague. This is not just population decline, it is a collective strike and biological suicide by Korean youth refusing to inherit this hellish competitive system. Rather than passing this pain to my child, I will not give birth. Empty maternity wards, playgrounds void of laughter. Korea is now most glamorously and efficiently vanishing from the face of the earth.
Today, we walked beneath the dazzling lights of South Korea, often called the miracle on the Han River. The lights are beautiful, but now you know what fuels them. It is the light created by burning the sleep of children and the souls of the youth. Korea operates like one massive precision machine, a society that allows no errors, a system that tolerates no stragglers. Thanks to this, we overcame poverty and became a top 10 global economy, fast, safe, and efficient. But in the process, we lost the most important thing, humanity. The freedom to cry when sad, rest when tired, and wander off the beaten path. These natural emotions were deleted under the name of inefficiency. We surgically removed emotion from our children and implanted function in its place. As a result, they became perfect components with flawless specs, but the function to feel happiness has malfunctioned. Humans existing for the system. We call this the machine human. Now, at the end of this journey, I ask you, do you envy Korea's dazzling efficiency? Do you want your country to become like this? Choose. Will you remain an imperfect human with a warm heart who sometimes fails and wanders? Or will you become a cold machine that functions perfectly for the system without pain or sorrow? Answer me. Which one will you raise your child to be?